Yeah, interesting. I just found it, yeah, I've noticed it across a few clients, but I had a chat with this client on Tuesday, and it was just, he's really on top of his like business and numbers. He's grown it from sharp, like before when we started working, it was like around $1 million a year. It's scaled over to eight. I'm sorry, over eight figures now in just less than 2 years. So we are always talking about the bigger picture, holistic marketing, but also in business as well. And we'll just notice that the US aspect of this line of his business, bless my child,
Thank you.
is is had completely taken off. And before, like looking at the direct factors in terms of ad accounts, there were no major shifts. And just looking at the market forces, another big thing is competitors, people who are reliant on China, would be advertising less because their products were going out of stock, which means less competition in the market, less market. Like then naturally you take over more market share. Then as a cause to this, when you're a small business going over in America, you're competing against all the bigger brands as well. So when they're pulling back their ad spends, you have the potential to one, get more market share, even if it's marginal, but two, get more brand awareness, even for a temporary period of time, get initial volume of clients and customers coming through, and then using that just to keep funneling through. So there are always opportunities and bad things happening. Like when like things are happening like to big players in industries, if you're a small player and you're dynamic and you can actually like, yeah, do things, you can actually grab market share as it's hanging there. It was the same as us, Corey. Like a lot of where we got to right now is based on Performance Max. That shook up like the Google Ads industry. All these big agencies and companies were using standard shopping and smart shopping.
Mm.
PMax comes out, shakes up the game. We talk about it. People become clients of ours, and all these years later, we're all happy and rich. So I
Yeah.
think there's always opportunities here. But I just wanted to know if you'd noticed anything there. Obviously, you haven't, but we all can't notice the market trends fast, mate.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, this to circle back to how this applies to PPC and strategies, right? I do think that this lends to if you don't have some kind of automation that's monitoring price fluctuation for your clients or for your accounts or for your own business, if you're not the one setting the price, but you're the one managing the account, this is something that's very important that we talk about a lot is monitoring the price changes because that can absolutely impact your conversion rates, which are going to impact everything else. This is something that you want to monitor either through automation if you can, or just keeping a direct line with the client, just having open communication with the client on, hey, look, these types of products, this department or this individual product, we decided to increase the price. What we don't want is to be surprised. We don't want to figure out later that a couple of our best sellers, or I'm just trying to keep it simple, right? Instead of make it complex, but a couple of those products have really gone up in price, let's say 20-30% or something. We weren't informed of that.
Yeah.
And then we miss out on optimizing accordingly, right? And profitability starts dipping, or we see conversion rates dipping, we're thinking it's something else. Obviously we monitor average sale cost and average order value, but there's only so much that we know and we can react to in real time. So we just need to give you guys that reminder, right? Always keep in communication with the client. If you're a client and you have someone else managing your account, really it's important for you guys to keep us in the loop on price changes so we can stay on top of optimizing your account accordingly. So I think this also speaks to that. Yeah.
Nice one, Corey. Sweet. So let's keep the PPC, whatever you call this episode. In my head, I just called the PPC chaos episode.
Chaos episode.
Chaotically going
so, well, actually, Michael, you had mentioned partnerships and referrals and things from Australia. So what are some maybe top tips that you have for managing referral partnerships and maybe creating those referral partnerships? Because that is a big part of how you've gotten business in the past and now. What are some tips you can give our listeners and watchers?
I don't have any referral partnerships. It's just clients refer us business. So in terms of referral partnerships, my company did start off with that based on like two other parties that did really help the momentum going. Look, my only recommendation there is just be a good person and be good at what you do, and don't it's really hard because you've got to give before you take. And sometimes people are giving the wrong things. So this is like it's just basically nepotism. You just got to know the right people and just be a good person, and also just it's who you know, but also how good you are. So
Yeah.
I just think it's that. And as much as I wish like I could give like cookie cutter answer just that applies to everyone, it's like
Yeah.
it's not. This is like a the sample size of this is one, which is me, and it's based on my experience. And I'm not a guru, I'm not a teacher, but I just think the way I've noticed that I've been able to launch two companies now successfully in long run is purely relationship. It's not through ads, it's not through content. It's just through knowing the right people, creating deep relationships, offering value for years beforehand. And I think that's the thing. You got to be focusing on medium to long term. Even
Long
for
term.
clients
Yeah.
at the moment, rather than raising prices, I just go, no, the value here is not about making a bit more money off this client. It's about giving them a good rate, a great service, and a great outcome. So then they refer three other people. So instead of getting a 20% increase in management fees, I'm getting a 4x because I'm getting three other and additional people. It's a mindset. It's you can't start off there because you've got to make ends meet. But at the same time, at some point, you've got to realize all business is a relationship game, and you've got to move beyond just thinking like how can I just like get my piece, rather than going how
Okay.
can I give so much to so many people that if I give to 100 people generously, two of them will give back to me, and those two will be flood my business for the rest of my life.
Okay.
That's how I
I
think,
like
at
that.
least.
I love that.